The book of the prophet of Obadiah, the shortest book in the whole Old Testament, and 21 verses. Does it look very promising? The deserving of divine judgment of Eden at Abraham of Israel, but way more to it. Here's the backstory. The people are unique because they instead an ancestor of Abraham and Sarah. With Sarah had a son of Isaac and Rebekah, and has two sons, Jacob and Esau. And the book of Genesis told us these two brothers see very least intense relationship, and they both received the names Israel and Edom, and later became the name of families of descended from them, replayed the same difficult relationship of their ancestors. And see, the Israel and Edom had a very intense stories. They still had the family bond, and betrayed and shattered. Later tragic events of Jerusalem's fall in Babylon, and Israel is invading Babylon. The book of Edom has plundered Israel's cities, refugees, and she accounted for the violence. And Obadiah does the same. A short book has first two halves. The accusation against the Edom, and Edom pride and self-extension. Literally, they lived high in the desert, in the raw. Metaphorically, we lived in the high. How the stars we should bring us down. Leave that pride to the Edomites. And as that we buy, not just to just Jerusalem, but we anticipate God's destruction. And Obadiah, Edom, or they find the item, as have done to Israel, and be done to them. And all Edom will reap this doom. In verse 15, we hear this: the day of the Lord is near to all nations. Why we strip to for all Edom to all nations? It shows you the first half of the book and the second half of the book, and the day of the Lord, but not the word for the Edom for all nations. Obadiah says, all prideful nations that act like Edom will face God's justice in the same way. They will fall from their prideful heights. One about Edom and all nations. It shows why Obadiah was so tiny of Israel. Pride and fall is an example of the image how one day confront the pride of all nations and bring apart. It's hard coincidental when Hebrew, Edom, is spelled with the same exact letters, humanity, and Adam is humanity. It's why a parable, why God's justice will one day will oppose the pride and violence all nations in the day of the Lord, and all the prophets, and God's, it's not his final words. And the conclusions became Obadiah and Joel and Amos at the picture what after the day of the Lord will come, and who had said that God will save a new act of salvation to all Jews, and all that humble themselves and call will be delivered. And the book of Amos, God will restore, God will raise the house of David and bring up a new Israel for Edom, for all the nations, by all this name. The book of Obadiah is look right after Joel and Amos to expand on the premises that God's hope to all the nations. The book concludes an hopeful future, going to restore the kingdom of Jerusalem with over nations, a faithful residence, and God's kingdoms with all the territory and all Israel. This little book attributes a large book of the justice, and the ancient pride of the people of Edom becomes our human conditions, and all the way how we betray and hurt God's human world. There's hope, Obadiah says, and Eden's downfall says, will downfall to the world and bring the healing kingdom to all the nations. And that's what the book of Obadiah is all about.